Hi, welcome back to Real Reviews. This is Cody Williams, and we're here to talk about the movie The First Omen. This film in particular is chronologically a prequel to the beloved 1976 horror classic The Omen. I've always enjoyed rewatching the original The Omen from time to time when fall comes around. I don't think I've ever seen the sequels, and I wasn't overly fond of the remake that released 18 years ago. Now that I just checked out this prequel with an open mind and gave it a chance, I'm ready to talk about it. The movie story follows a young American woman who is sent to Rome to begin a life of service to the church, but she then encounters a darkness that causes her to question her faith and uncovers a terrifying conspiracy that hopes to bring about the birth of evil incarnate. Well, that was one of the most unnerving horror movies I've seen in quite some time. I'm not normally a strong purveyor of prequels, but this movie proved me wrong. It even dovetails into the original 1976 film perfectly. I do maybe have one nitpick with the movie, and of course I'll get to that later. Right now, I want to talk about the many great things the movie has going for it that all include some great use of suspense and tension, beautiful cinematography, a well-written script, and some fantastic acting. Obviously, the best thing about the movie is the spine-tingling suspense and tension that is done perfectly. I know this is subjective, but I don't think the movie was overly scary, but it was pretty horrifying, especially with the film's use of visual imagery. There's plenty of body horror to go around, and it's not for the faint of heart. Jump scare wise, just not much going on, but I do wish, however, that the overall film was more scarier. Everyone else was hyping it up to be the scariest movie ever made, but in actuality, for me at least, it wasn't. While we're on the subject of visuals, the film's cinematography was none other than immaculate. With the way the movie looks, it feels like a piece of cinema from the 70s. It does make sense given it's supposed to flow directly into the original 1976 film. With the astonishing camera work, there is some great composition, and I love the utilization of lighting to create a dreadful, foreboding undertone. When it comes to the writing, I thought it was very well done. The story is amazing, the dialogue doesn't feel forced, and there's plenty of twists and turns to keep the audience on their toes, not knowing what to expect. Granted, the movie does try to deceive the viewer, but ultimately, it is a bit predictable. Knowing how it wonderfully ties into the original film, you already know this movie isn't going to have a happily ever after ending. Speaking of, the film's ending was perfect, if you ask me, as to where it will want you to rewatch the original 1976 movie again. If you haven't already, I highly urge anybody to watch it because it's a great horror film. As far as the acting goes, everyone was simply fantastic. One performance that's worth talking about is Nell Tiger. She's the main lead that the movie follows around, and her performance as the character was none other than amazing. Every scene that she's in, she just completely steals the spotlight. It was pretty neat seeing some other familiar faces like Ralph Ineson, Charles Dance, and also Bill Nye. When it's all said and done, there's no ounce of talent gone to waste. Other than the fact that the movie could have been just a tad more scarier with a less predictable twist, this is still a really good movie that brings back hope to modern horror cinema. Overall, The First Omen is a terrifying and welcoming addition that revitalizes the franchise for both newcomers and longtime fans. Unequivocally so, this film is a must-watch for anyone that considers themselves an enthusiast of horror. While it's not a perfect movie by any means, however, it's pretty close to it. I give this movie an A. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Keep up with my real reviews.